Hey, what is up? Rick here, and today we're talking about the most spectacular Hollywood self-destruction I have witnessed in years. You know how sometimes you watch a slow-motion car crash and you just can't look away? That's Milly Alcock's press tour for Supergirl, except the car is a $200 million DC blockbuster, and Milly is somehow both the driver and the one who cut the brake lines. Look, a few months ago, this woman was basically the golden girl of Hollywood, fresh off House of the Dragon, critically praised, fan-beloved. The internet was rooting for her. And now Reddit is writing her eulogy. Twitter has her name trending for all the wrong reasons, and YouTube is drowning in breakdown videos, including, well, this one. Now, before we go any further, let me be crystal clear about something. We are not here to review Supergirl the movie today. We're here to perform a full autopsy on the PR campaign surrounding it, because that campaign is already dead. It just hasn't stopped twitching yet. People online keep comparing Milly Alcock to Rachel Zegler. And look, on the surface, yeah, I get it. Young actress, big franchise, internet backlash, box office disaster incoming. But here's the thing. That comparison is actually too simple, because Zegler's problem was arrogance. Alcock's problem is something far more sad. It's what happens when a genuinely talented young woman gets thrown into the deep end of a media machine with zero swimming lessons, and the studio just watched her sink. So stick around, because we're going to break down exactly how this went wrong, step by step, almost like a masterclass in what not to do when you're the face of a $200 million superhero movie. Warner Brothers is taking notes, I hope. Actually, scratch that. They're clearly not. That's literally the whole problem. So let's rewind a little. When Milly Alcock was first cast as Supergirl, the internet did what the internet always does. It had opinions, loud ones. Some people said her face wasn't right for the iconic look. Some made memes. Some were just straight up cruel, because again, that's the internet. Now, here's what a seasoned Hollywood actress does in that situation. She smiles at the camera, she says something charming and self-aware, and then she goes home, has a glass of wine, and completely ignores the comments section. What does Milly Alcock do? She reads the comments. All of them. And you could feel it in every single interview that followed. And that's when the press smelled blood, because those so-called friendly outlets, the ones that were supposed to be on her side, they didn't protect her. They baited her. They pulled her into conversations about gender identity, about the male gaze in sci-fi, about Supergirl being bisexual because, quote, she's an alien, so why not? And Milly, bless her heart, took every single bite. Now, let me be fair here. None of these topics are automatically toxic by themselves. The problem isn't what she said. The problem is when and how she said it. You don't go into a press tour for a summer superhero blockbuster and start your opening act with a dissertation on binary gender constructs. That's not a press tour anymore. That's a TED Talk nobody bought tickets for. And then, and this is where it gets almost darkly comedic, the studio tried to course correct. They clearly told someone, okay, make her more relatable. So in the very next round of interviews, Milly rolls out this line about how her idea of a good time is, and I swear I am not making this up, a cigarette and a martini. She's a simple girl. Cool, right? Edgy, retro, kind of fun. Except you just spent 3 weeks telling us you're a boundary-breaking voice for a new generation. And now you're Lady Gaga circa 2009? Pick a lane, Warner Brothers. Pick a lane. The messaging was all over the place, and audiences noticed. They always do. So where does all this leave us? Well, let's talk numbers, because numbers don't lie. Pre-sale tickets for Supergirl are, to put it gently, a disaster. Theaters reserved for the film are sitting nearly empty. We're talking 3, maybe 4 seats sold per evening showtime in some markets. Early weekend projections have already cratered to around 40 million domestic, which for context would put Supergirl below The Flash. Below The Flash. That movie where Ezra Miller showed up to set apparently running on chaos energy and vibes. That is the bar Supergirl is now limboing under. And the industry responded the way it always does. by circling the carcass. Every media personality, every YouTube channel, every critic who was supposedly on the film's side has quietly backed away and started making content about how it failed. Even bloggers who ideologically should have been cheerleading this movie turned around and torched it. That tells you everything you need to know. But here's the part that actually matters, and I want to be real with you for a second. Rick-style real. Milly Alcock is not the villain of this story. She's actually the victim. She's a 24-year-old actress who was handed the keys to a franchise and zero media training. Her PR team threw her in front of the wolves, handed the wolves microphones, and then went to lunch. The real indictment here is on the studio system, the one that keeps doing this over and over. Cast young talent, sell them a narrative, burn them when it doesn't work, repeat. The good news, if there is any, is that Milly is young enough to come back from this. Unlike some of her predecessors, she hasn't fully torched her likability. The internet's frustration with her feels more like disappointment than hate, and that's a recoverable position. If, and it's a big if, she learns 2 lessons from this experience. 1, the press is not your friend. It is a content extraction machine wearing a friendly face. 2, the so-called new audience that studios keep marketing to doesn't exist. It's a PowerPoint slide in a Burbank conference room. The people who actually buy tickets are the ones you just spent 6 weeks alienating. Anyway, that's the full breakdown, people. If you made it this far, you already know what to do. Drop a comment, hit the like button, subscribe to Film Flop because we are just getting started. This is Rick, and I'll see you in the next one.